Welcome to this week's edition of Smart Counsel for Lunch. I'm Leah Kofos, and I'm one of the attorneys here at the law firm of Samuel, Sayward, Baler in Dedham, Massachusetts, where we focus our practice in the areas of estate planning, probate, elder law, and estate and trust administration. Today, I want to talk to you about AI, specifically AI as it relates to estate planning and potentially other attorney work that attorneys might be doing for you. Really, I want to talk about two main things. Okay. The first thing is attorney-client privilege. You might be tempted if you receive a trust or receive a letter from an attorney that isn't easily understandable, right? Because a lot of these trusts include legalese, which we understand, but as a layperson, you haven't trained in this, you don't really know what it means. And instead of setting a meeting with an attorney or asking an attorney questions about what this actually means, you might be tempted to feed something through AI. All right. When I talk about AI, I'm talking about ChatGPT or Claude, one of the open AI platforms that you can, if you just Google AI, you could probably find any number of them, but those are the two most common, I would say. So something happens when you feed a document through, or information, I guess, through AI, is immediately any attorney-client privilege that you have with your attorney, right? So any information that you've given your attorney is now public, is now not protected by that attorney-client privilege because you're including this open AI platform. So typically, if we go back for a minute, typically what happens is that when you engage an attorney, you give that attorney, let's say it's me, right? You give me a lot of information about your life, your assets, your situation, everything. The reason that you do that is so that I can create a complete picture of who you are and what's going to be best for you in terms of estate planning or probate or estate and trust administration, any of those topics, so that I can really do, the best thing for you. And we can talk about that and in a way that you understand. But when you feed something through AI, it becomes essentially public, right? So you're breaking that attorney-client privilege. I, as your attorney, cannot, tell anybody who calls the office that, what's in your documents or who's getting all your money or who you've named as your guardians for your minor children. I can't do any of that because all of that information is protected. All of those decisions are protected. Now, as soon as you feed something through AI, you've broken that. And that's really important. Okay. So beware before you feed something through AI. What I want you to do is call your attorney and make sure that you know exactly what that document says. Okay. If you have questions about a document and you're tempted to feed it through AI, don't do that. Don't do that. Talk to your attorney. You can set up a meeting, make sure that everything is easily understandable. We don't want you signing documents that you don't understand. All right. So set a meeting with your attorney and make sure that you talk about that. The second thing I wanted to mention as it relates to AI is that we've all heard the term AI hallucinates. Okay. It's this phrase that's going around, AI hallucinates. What does that actually mean? AI will just make things up. The way that AI works is that it wants to please you, right? The person asking the question to AI, it wants you to be happy. And in doing that, in trying to make you happy, it just makes up information. Some of this information might be correct. Some of this information might be incorrect. And you as a layperson, where you don't understand the difference between, you don't know what you don't know, essentially. You're going to have a really hard time discerning between what's correct information that AI is giving you and what's incorrect. So that's a huge issue, is just the actual information might be wrong, right? The other issue here is that when you feed something through AI, you're not getting a holistic picture in the answer that AI is giving you. AI is just trying to answer the exact question that you asked. When you ask an attorney these questions, we know your asset structure, we know your family structure, and your family dynamics. We know all of this stuff because you've told us this in the past, right? And so that's how we're able to draft good documents on your behalf, is because we have this knowledge. If you ask AI a very, very particular question, AI doesn't know necessarily your asset structure. They shouldn't, because again, it's not secure. AI doesn't know your family dynamics. So any answer that AI is giving you, they're giving it to you in a vacuum. All right. And that could cause some serious problems down the line because you're not getting a whole answer. Even if the information is technically correct, you're not getting a complete answer. So for these reasons, think twice before you feed anything into AI, ChatGPT or Claude or any of those platforms. Because one, you're breaking attorney-client privilege, and two, the information that you're getting might just be wrong. Okay, so keep that in mind moving forward. I know AI is a huge topic of interest lately, so keep that in mind as you're moving forward with your own lives and your own decision-making process. If you want to hear any more about estate planning, probate, elder law, estate and trust administration, any of those topics, feel free to visit our website. We have a lot of articles, a lot of videos on these topics, and you might be able to learn something from those too. So check that out. If you like these videos, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button, and you sign up for our newsletter. We send it out every week. But otherwise, take care.